Ramona Shelburne, a fantastic columnist and NBA reporter for ESPN in our DirecTV 4K NBA report here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you been, Ramona?
Good. How are you guys?
I am doing fine. What is the story of the season right now, as we are now post Thanksgiving? Normally that would just be a couple weeks under our belt, but we're a full month and a half into the NBA season now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd go with the Celtics so far, right? I mean, that's the team that, opening night they lose Gordon Hayward, and you feel like they're gonna just everything they had tried to do this summer just falls apart. And not only have they been great, but they're probably the best team in the league right now. I mean, after that win streak and some of the games that they've won, especially beating Golden State. I didn't think they were going to beat Golden State. I thought the Warriors would get up for that. And so I'd say the Celtics right now. Because there's so much parity. I mean, we go around every weekend and do our rankings, right? You got to go through, and there's so many teams that are sitting there just a couple games above or below 500. That really the only teams that have kind of separated themselves are like the Celtics and the Rockets. And the Warriors sort of underachieved, but I think that's almost a planned underachievement. And so the Celtics would, I guess that'd be my story.
And then the Cavs have suddenly pulled it together. They've won 7 in a row. And then the news over the weekend that Derrick Rose is taking some time to ponder his professional basketball playing future. What did you make of that story, Ramona?
Yeah, man, it makes me sad, right? I mean, it's like so today Tony Parker's coming back, right? And I was reading his quotes, it was San Antonio Express News, and he said, it's just this love of the game, and I wanted to go out, feeling good. This is what pushed me back. Because remember when Tony Parker got hurt, people thought that might be it for him. Like that injury was really severe, and it was 9 months, and January, February, and he's already back. He's back before Kawhi even, and you could see the passion he still has for the game. And then you see Derrick Rose and compare the types of players they were. Right? Tony was never the athletic monster that Derrick was, but he was quick, and he had a game that was built on speed and precision. And look at how he's changed his game and his whole being to evolve as a player, right? And as a person, and dealt with injury after injury. And then you look at Derrick, where I don't think he's ever really been the same without his athleticism. And some people are able to do that. They have the coping skills and the ability to change who they are fundamentally as a player as their body begins to fail them. And Derrick just doesn't. And I understand why he's frustrated. I mean, year after year after year in Chicago, where he's the guy who's supposed to return them to glory like Michael Jordan did in his hometown. And so for him to now, go to Cleveland on a minimum deal, right, and not be able to play from a stupid ankle injury where he lands on Greg Monroe's foot. I mean, if this is, I don't think this is the end. I do think he comes back, but I think he just doesn't really know who he is when he can't be that guy, that athletic marvel.
Well, I mean, we've seen it before in so many other sports, too, where you have to recalibrate yourself and remake yourself. And certainly, he's on a team when Isaiah Thomas returns that has championship aspirations. Maybe the ring can be the thing that gets him back here. Ramona Shelburne here on the Rich Eisen Show. Philadelphia is so much fun to watch. I mean, where is Sam Hinkie today? Is he just underground, or where is he? The guy who created the process and trusting it.
Yeah, so Sam's hanging out in my old hood, man. He's up at Stanford University, hanging out with the nerds in Silicon Valley, right? That's his crew, and I think he's just kind of sitting back and letting everybody talk because he didn't need to say anything, right? He did what he did, and it's paying off, and it's working. And this is going to be, I think the Sixers, okay, you let me start off saying what's the story right now. The Sixers are what's next, okay? Because, that's the team. When you watch those guys play, and they came through L.A., I guess a couple weeks ago, and they beat the Lakers and the Clippers, and it was the way they beat them. Remember that was the game Embiid went for 46 and 15 and 7 and 7. I mean, no one's ever done that. And, it was, you watched them play, and you went, oh my God, this guy, I've never seen a skill set like this before in one player. He's as dominant as Shaquille O'Neal has been on the block at times, okay? But he can make free throws. He can hit threes. He's got the dream shake. He's got a Euro step. You don't see these things in a guy that's 7'2". And then there's Ben Simmons, who plays like LeBron, but is this good and can't even shoot? He doesn't know what hand he shoots with. Inside, he shoots with his right hand. And outside, he shoots this weird shot with his left hand. And like, he's this good, putting up, like, Magic Johnson-type rookie stats, and he doesn't even shoot. Like, think how good these guys are, right? And the number one pick in the draft, Markelle Fultz, who's this, like, pick-and-roll monster, if he can, get his shoulder right and his head back together and how to shoot. Like, we haven't even seen them yet. And, like, I know they're playing the Cavs tonight, right? I mean, this is one of those ones where I can't wait for the trash talk because that's what Embiid lives for, these things, right? But this is, I mean, if you're LeBron and you're looking at that team, and I know we talk a lot about LeBron and the Lakers and the Cavs and what's his future going to be. Shoot, look at Philly. I mean, that's the team with the young stars that are closest to winning.
Ramona Shelburne in the DirecTV 4K NBA report here. While we're on the subject of playing in Los Angeles, putting up Magic Johnson rookie-type stats and having a shot that you don't know what it is. You see where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
If LeVar Ball and Donald Trump weren't going at each other, I think LeVar's shot at Luke Walton that we were all knowing was going to come at some point. The fact that he finally took it, I think, would have been far more a piece of catnip for the national media. What has Magic Johnson said to LeVar after all that? Or did they just say that's just LeVar being LeVar and let's all ignore it? What is the strategy here, Ramona?
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of, they don't want to tell LeVar what to do. He's a grown man, and they knew what they were signing up for, and it's sort of anti-Laker to sort of tamp down on anything that creates news, right? I mean, it's Hollywood's team. They don't care, right? They think it's fun. But what they do is they do things like he sits in the family area. There's a certain area that you're not supposed to talk to people, and they'll go, you can't do any interviews over there, right? Like, oh, well, that's where LeVar is, right? I mean, they do little things like that, but look, he's a grown man. I mean, they're watching it and they're monitoring it, and I know people thought that was it came across as a shot at Luke Walton. I don't think it was, because I just kind of have a different take on LeVar and his whole relationship with Lonzo. Like, I sort of felt like that was LeVar saying, you need to kick Lonzo's butt a little bit. Like, really? I thought that was him saying, giving Luke some license to just say, get in there and yell at him. Get in there and push him, because I'm giving you license. And not that Luke needed that, okay? Like, Luke's a great coach, but he doesn't need Daddy's permission to do that. But I think maybe that's the guy who's trained Lonzo his entire life. And when I say trained, I use that word specifically, not just coach. He trained him. So, like, think of it like a trainer. Lonzo's a guy who, his dad says, be here at 9 o'clock and we're going to run hills. He shows up at 9 o'clock and they run hills. He doesn't call his dad and say, hey, I want to get there at 7 o'clock and shoot baskets. He waits for someone to tell him what to do. And so you have to understand that dynamic and how Lonzo's sort of always been coached. And I think it was more advice. I think it was more him saying, like, look, when he's acting like this, when he's in his head a little bit, just go in there and kick his butt a little bit. But, clearly, if there's anybody who understands what it's like to have a dad who may say too much sometimes, might be Luke Walton. Right?
Well done, Ramona. That's why I love it.
Luke's fine. Like, if he's not worried about it. I think if he starts criticizing teammates, if he starts criticizing playing time, then we had a different story. But if he's just saying kick my son in the butt a little bit, I don't think that's a problem.
Love it. Ramona, always enjoyed chatting. Let's chat again soon.
Thanks, guys.
You got that. Ramona Shelburne.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.